Commissioner Haley and Shepler, if you will meet Deputy City Clerk Averett at the back. She has a document for you to sign, please.
And now we have the City of Palmdale, which has a presentation for us about the upcoming power plant they're building.
Good evening, Mayor Parris, members of City Council. My name is Mike Michelle. I'm the Public Works Director for the City of Palmdale. I want to thank you for allowing us the opportunity to share with you our project. With me tonight I have Tony Penna from Inland Energy. He's our consultant who's been helping us with this project. He has a short PowerPoint presentation to present to you tonight. So I'll give you Tony. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go through this as quickly as you like, and I'm happy to slow down at any point during the presentation. Essentially, I want to tell you a little bit about the project, the development team that's working on it, its location, the technology, what we believe are the benefits to the Antelope Valley, things of that nature, and then we'll wrap it up at the end, and there'll be plenty of time to answer your questions. Project began back in 2005, September 2005. The Palmdale City Council approved the project. We've been working on it since then to submit an application to the California Energy Commission. The team that's in place is Inland Energy, controlling the efforts of ENSER, who is probably the premier environmental consulting firm for siting power plants in the state of California. Latham & Watkins holds the same prestigious title for permitting. And Navigant works for some of the engineering as well as Kiewit Power, which some of you may know as BIB Engineering once upon a time. We're working with General Electric for the combustion turbine technology and with Abengoa Solar for the solar field. The plant is essentially a hybrid. It merges the gas turbine combined cycle technology that is used throughout the state and the country with the solar thermal technology. This is not the same solar thermal technology that your plant is using, but rather this is the type that you would see out at Kramer Junction or Daggett, the parabolic trough mirrors. Just a little quick isometric to talk about how it works. The sun heats up the tube that sits in front of the parabolic trough. That oil within that tube gets so hot that it's capable of boiling water. We take the steam from that boiled water to run a steam turbine. The parabolic trough technology, like I said, it's been demonstrated for some time. It is what we've passed out at Kramer Junction and Daggett for many years. As you might imagine, probably the same thought process that you use with going with e-solar. We have great renewable solar thermal energy source here, and it seems almost a shame not to take full advantage of it. We're merging it with the gas turbine technology because we are looking at the Southern California Edison Company's predictions that not only do we need renewable energy, but we need energy as a whole. We're merging it with the combined cycle so that the plant will be available to run 24 hours a day. So essentially we took two well-defined technologies and merged them together for a hybrid concept. Not unlike an automobile hybrid, you can run on the electricity or on the internal combustion engine. The benefit here, or the standard design, has a combustion turbine connected to a generator. That's what is typically referred to as simple cycle. Some years back we were able to capture the waste heat from burning the gas and use it to heat water in a heat recovery steam generator, and thereby being able to power a steam turbine and then run another generator. So in essence, it's more electricity without burning more fossil fuel. In the solar field, very simple, well understood design. You heat up the oil out in the solar field, you boil water in a boiler, you run steam to a steam turbine, and then you power a generator. What we've done is essentially eliminate one of the steam turbines. So it is in fact a true hybrid as opposed to two technologies just sharing the same site. The location and size of the plant. Output will be 570 megawatts. It is located at the intersection, essentially this is Plant 42 here, this is Avenue M and Sierra Highway. As you can see, the solar field will take up about 250 acres. The power block where we house the steam turbine and the gas turbines will be a much smaller footprint, about 25 acres. Facing, it's an artist idea of what it'll look like when we're all done, facing Palmdale and facing Lancaster. And the benefits that we see, and I'd be surprised if they weren't the same that you identified, see that as a great economic boost to the Antelope Valley. We look at some diversification in the revenue. We are, for the most part, have been considered an aviation community for a while. This will bring in some diversity of revenue. Power plants are good paying jobs. For the younger folks, they're a long-term job. A power plant has a life expectancy in excess of 30 years. So this is something that will serve more than one generation. We'll be able to use reclaimed water. Clearly in an arid environment that we live in, water is a precious commodity. Looking for a beneficial use for reclaimed water was important to us, and that's how we're going to do that. And then power plants of this size typically spend in the vicinity of $5 to $6 million a year for supplies and what have you, and we see that going into the local community to the fullest extent possible from an operating plant. The schedule, I didn't bother showing you 2005, but rather we submitted the application to the Energy Commission earlier this year. It was deemed data adequate about 45 or 50 days later, which starts a one-year review period that the Energy Commission does. That one-year review is a very public process. Not only as a sistering city would you be invited to attend, but all residents are invited to attend. And the commissioners come down. In fact, the first such public hearing will be December 4th, and in addition to being legally invited, you're also, cordially invited. We'd like to welcome you to attend. The decision typically is rendered 12 to 14 months from the time the project is deemed data adequate. And we're predicting a 27-month construction schedule, which means if we can adhere to this schedule, the summer demand for 2012, we can be servicing that load. The city of Palmdale is developing the project. It has a great and very experienced team in place. We are moving along, being already data adequate. The California Energy Commission has been to the site previously. This will be their first formal visit coming up on December 4th. The design was permitted a couple months ago in the city of Victorville for the Victorville 2 project. And that was a project that we worked with the city on to get permitted. The Energy Commission, therefore, is very comfortable with this design, and we suspect that they'll live more to the 12-month schedule. And with that, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you, sir.
Any questions?
A couple questions. One is, in terms of air quality, what are you driving the gas turbines with to begin the process?
That'll be natural gas, and we have working on an agreement with SoCal Gas to bring pipeline quality gas to the project.
And the other thing is, water is always an issue in the desert, and you're using reclaimed water. What's the source of that water going to be?
The primary source of that water will be from the Palmdale treatment plant, and if that plant needs to go down for some catastrophic reason, we would be looking to get water from the pipeline that's going to be connecting Palmdale and Lancaster, and the source of that water would then be from the Lancaster treatment facility.
And have you had conversations with the sanitation district that serves Lancaster about that?
Yes, sir, we have.
I sit on that board, and I've not been privy to those. I would like to talk to you about those further.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you considered using not our shallow aquifer, but our deep aquifer for a secondary source of water as well?
We've not reviewed that or researched that in as much detail as we have the reclaimed water, but it is an option that we have explored somewhat, but not fully vetted.
My concern is this. We have Sanitation District and the city has put a lot of time, money, and effort into finding other sources of water, replacing potable water, finding uses for reclaimed water so that we can cut down on our use of potable water. And I know the amount of water that a power plant can use could usurp virtually all of the reclaimed water that we can put through our purple pipe. That concerns me that we would not be fulfilling what we said we would do, which is replacing water we're using potable water for now. So I think that conversation needs some clarity and needs a little bit more depth and exploration between Sanitation District, City of Lancaster, and the City of Palmdale.
Yes, sir, I'm saying.
If I could just add on that, that's something that I had a presentation from them down in Palmdale, and that's exactly what I brought up to them also, was using the deep aquifer because it is a closed system and they don't have to worry about the arsenic levels as they do with potable water, and I think that's something that they seriously need to look at.
I'm curious as to the location. Is Palmdale abandoning the Palmdale Airport as a major airport sometime in the future? Because it seems to be taking up a major portion of what would normally be, airport facilities if it were to, 10, 20 years from now, be a major airport.
Well, my understanding is the City of Palmdale actually purchased this property for this project. So whatever airport or aviation plans they have, I'm not personally privy to, but I do know that this area is being looked at for, light industrial.
I was just curious as to the location. As the mayor, it's my position that if this project benefits the City of Lancaster, we're interested in helping out in the way we can, including being a valued customer. However, in order to be a valued customer, it means that we have to ask a lot of questions, we have to investigate thoroughly, and when certain Type A council members in Palmdale accuse us of throwing them under the bus every time we ask a question, that makes it difficult.
Understand?
What we would like to do is have a meaningful dialogue with you every step of the way. But every time we have a concern, we need to feel free to express it. I mean, that's the only way agreements are reached. That's the only way viable projects come to fruition. And I would hope that you would convey my sentiments to our sister city to the south, because we sincerely do want to work with them on this. But I don't want to read front-page stories from Councilman Hofbauer every time I have a concern, because I imagine that given a project of this magnitude that could have potential implications for the City of Lancaster, I'm going to have 1,000 questions. That doesn't mean I don't want the project to go forward. It doesn't mean that I don't want to see it come to fruition as soon as possible. But what it does mean that we want to protect the well-being of the citizens of Lancaster and cut the best deal for the citizens of Lancaster, because that's our job.
Completely understand. I hope that tonight's presentation will be interpreted as our first step to that dialogue, and your questions are definitely welcome and encouraged to that end.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Personally, I think this is an incredible step in the right direction for the entire Antelope Valley. It would appear that the entire Antelope Valley will soon become the 21st century energy capital of the world. That's what we're looking forward to.
Mr. Mayor, I see that happen very easily with the project that you have undertaken now, with this, and with others who want to be in the Antelope Valley to take advantage of all of our resources. I could see that easily coming to fruition.
Be sure to convey our sentiments to Palmdale.
I promise you.
Absolutely will be a cooperative partner in this venture.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And I'm talking into a dead mic. Did you do that? I did that. Okay. And now we have another presentation that wasn't on the agenda, but animal control's here to talk about our favorite problem, which I guess is not a problem anymore. Is that right?
Fast becoming.
Yeah. I mean, you're making